We felt like we were in the Philippines tonight and not in Abu Dhabi, so now I think you can definitely say a word to your fans.
Magandang gabi, mga kababayan. Magandang gabi, Abu Dhabi.
Alex Eala had just stepped onto Stadium Court in Abu Dhabi as thousands of fans erupted, chanting her name. The venue was completely packed. And waiting for her on the other side of the net was her best friend, her former doubles partner, someone she had traveled the world with, shared countless memories with, and likely laughed and cried beside through all the highs and lows of professional tennis. And Alex had to take her down. That is the kind of mental battle most 20-year-olds would struggle to handle. But what Alex did next is exactly why this Filipino rising star could become a serious challenge for the entire WTA Tour. Let me explain why this match was about far more than just winning a first-round match. So, here's the thing. Alex stepped onto Stadium Court at the Zayed Sports City International Tennis Center in Abu Dhabi to take on Zain Sonmez. But this was far from an ordinary first-round match. She was facing her former doubles partner, someone she considered a friend. And honestly, that makes the situation much tougher. Just imagine having to step onto the court and fight to beat someone you genuinely care about. Someone you've traveled with, trained alongside, and probably shared meals, laughs, and countless private moments with. That's the kind of mental pressure most people can't even imagine dealing with. But Alex stepped onto that court fully prepared and focused on the job ahead. And the crowd, wow. The stadium was completely packed, with fans filling every seat for the final match of the day. You had Filipino fans who may have booked their flights as soon as they learned Alex was playing. And then there were Turkish supporters in the stands backing Zain. Both players have some of the most passionate and vocal fan bases on the tour right now. But honestly, the Filipino supporters clearly outnumbered everyone else in the stadium, and the atmosphere must have been absolutely electric. Now, before we get into the match itself, let's look at their history. This was the third meeting between the two, and Alex entered with a perfect 2-0 record against Sonmez. Their first encounter came at the 2023 ITF W60NG Open in France, where Alex won 7-6, 6-4 in the quarterfinals. The opening set went to a tiebreak, showing just how close that match was. Then came their second meeting at the 2025 Lexus Eastbourne Open qualifiers. Now, before we get into the match itself, let's look at their history. This was the third meeting between the two, and Alex entered with a perfect 2-0 record against Sonmez. Their first encounter came at the 2023 ITF W60NG Open in France, where Alex won 7-6, 6-4 in the quarterfinals. The opening set went to a tiebreak, showing just how close that match was. Then came their second meeting at the 2025 Lexus Eastbourne Open qualifiers. Plus, Zain was arriving with plenty of confidence after her Australian Open run, where she reached the third round and became the first Turkish woman to win a match at the Aussie Open, by the way. She also defeated world number 11, Mira Andreeva, along the way. So this was definitely not an easy opponent. She was a player full of momentum, confidence, and absolutely nothing to lose. All right, the match begins, and Alex immediately comes out attacking. She breaks serve early and quickly takes a 3-1 lead. And I'm watching this thinking, okay, Alex is in control. She's setting the pace, dictating the play, and this looks like her set to lose. But Zain refuses to back down. That's simply not her style. She fights her way back and breaks Alex in the fifth game to make it 3-3. And now you can really feel the tension rising, because the set is level again and from here, anything can happen. But this is where Alex shows what makes her different. She stays calm and refuses to panic. She settles herself and pushes ahead to 5-3. Now she's serving for the set, just one game from taking it. But then she gets broken, and Zain battles back to make it 5-4. Suddenly, the pressure is right back on Alex. But you know what? This is exactly the kind of moment when champions show what they're made of. This is where mental strength can matter even more than natural talent. Alex responds by breaking Zain for the third time in the set and closes it out 6-4. That's clutch. That's the kind of calm, controlled mindset you need when the pressure is at its highest. If you're an Alex fan like me, you're probably celebrating at your screen right now, because that kind of determination is what can lead to championship success. The second set begins, and Alex is completely locked in, fully focused from the start. She quickly takes a 3-0 lead, and you're thinking, okay, this might be over. She's got this. But Zain is a fighter, and she's not about to give up without a fight. She battles her way back to 3-2, forcing Alex to earn every single point. And honestly, you have to respect that kind of determination. That kind of competitive spirit is exactly what makes women's tennis so exciting to watch right now. But Alex wasn't letting up. She won 3 of the next 4 games and wrapped up the match with a 6-3 second-set victory. The entire match lasted 1 hour and 31 minutes. And the statistic that really stands out tells the story. Alex converted 6 breakpoints across 9 of Sonmez's service games. Alex was absolutely relentless on the return. Every time Zane served, Alex was ready to attack, putting pressure on her and never letting her feel comfortable. That isn't luck, and it wasn't simply a great day on the court. That's elite-level tennis. It's about reading the serve, predicting where the ball will go, and then delivering the return with accuracy and control. He's just 20 years old. Alex seems to be thinking several moves ahead of everyone else. And here's what I admire most about her. After beating her friend in front of a packed stadium, she could have simply given the usual interview about playing well, being happy with the win, and then moved on. But that's not Alex. Listen to what she had to say. "I'm truly honored to share the court with one of my closest friends, Zane. I have so much respect for her, and she's making an impact in so many different ways. Our friendship goes far beyond tennis, and I'm incredibly thankful for that." Honestly, come on. That is pure class right there. She had just beaten her friend, yet she still showed nothing but love and respect. That kind of sportsmanship is exactly what makes you proud to support an athlete. She's the kind of person you want representing her country, her sport, and her entire generation. This is why Alex isn't just an outstanding player, she's also a genuinely good person. And in a world where many athletes focus mainly on themselves, that humility and sincere respect for her opponent really stand out. It's rare, and it's special. Now with this victory, Alex moved up 2 spots in the live WTA rankings. She's currently at number 43 and getting closer and closer to breaking into the top 40. And honestly, reaching the top 40 is only one step along the way. Alex has the potential to go much, much higher than that. Just think about it. She's only 20 years old. 20. Most players don't reach their peak until their mid-20s, so she still has years of development ahead of her. Years to become stronger, faster, and smarter, while she's already competing against and beating players ranked inside the top 50, top 40, and even the top 20 on her best days. The progress she's making is incredible. Earlier this year at the Australian Open, Alex made her Grand Slam main draw debut and immediately attracted a huge crowd. There was even an enormous line outside Court 6, as Filipino fans turned up in large numbers to support their favorite player. The match itself didn't go her way. She lost to Alicia Parks in the first round. But the fact that she was already attracting that kind of support and creating that much excitement tells you something important. People don't only rally behind great players. They connect with athletes who make them feel something and give them a reason to care. And Alex makes people feel proud, inspired, and hopeful. That's the kind of connection you see with a future superstar. Now Alex moves into the second round, where she'll face Alexandra Sasnovich of Belarus. And let me tell you, this won't be an easy challenge. Sasnovich is 31 years old, giving her roughly a decade more experience than Alex. She entered the main draw as a lucky loser after another player withdrew, but don't let that fool you. This is the same player who just pulled off a major upset against 8th seed Paula Badosa, a former world number 2 and one of the most dangerous competitors on tour. Sasnovich is smart, experienced, and knows exactly how to win. But here's the thing, Alex performs at her best when she's the underdog and people are questioning her. After the confidence she gained from that first-round victory, breaking serve 6 times and producing some of her best tennis, I definitely wouldn't count her out. Plus, Alex has doubles action coming up as well. She and Indonesian player Janice Chen will take on Leylah Fernandez and Kristina Mladenovic. Fernandez is a French Open doubles finalist, while Mladenovic is a 6-time Grand Slam doubles champion. That makes this an incredibly difficult matchup. But once again, Alex doesn't avoid tough challenges. She faces them head-on. Alright, let's get real for a moment. Why does Alex Eala matter beyond simply being a talented tennis player? She's representing the Philippines on some of the biggest stages in the sport. She's inspiring a whole generation of young Filipino kids to pick up a racket, believe in themselves, and dream bigger. She's showing that you don't have to come from the traditional tennis powerhouses like the US, Europe, or Australia to reach the highest levels. When she steps onto the court, She carries the hopes and dreams of millions of people with her. But instead of letting that pressure overwhelm her, she rises to the occasion and uses it as motivation. That Filipino crowd in Abu Dhabi wasn't simply there to cheer her on. Their support gave her extra energy. And the way she handles herself, with humility, grace, and respect for her opponents, sets a powerful example for every young athlete watching. You can compete at the highest level while still being kind. You can be fierce on the court and friendly off it. You can win with class and accept defeat with dignity. That's what Alex represents. And honestly, tennis is better with her in the game. Now, here's my bold prediction. You can come back to this later and either tell me I was completely wrong or call me a genius. Believe Alex can break into the top 30 by the end of this year, and she could climb even higher. Why? She has the talent, the mental toughness, the work ethic, and above all, the confidence to believe she belongs there. You can see that belief in the way she competes. She isn't walking onto the court hoping she can win. She steps out there believing she will win. That confidence, that presence on the court, you can't simply teach that. Just look at what she has already achieved. She's a Grand Slam junior champion, a US Open girls singles champion, and an Australian Open girls doubles champion. She has been winning at every level she has competed in, and that winning mentality continues to follow her. Now she's competing on the main tour, and it feels like only a matter of time before she starts making deep runs at